So, to model a banana, you start with a cylinder. My height segments are set at 5, sides at 18 at the moment. You can drop that down depending on how high or low poly you need the asset, depending on what system you're going to put on. I'm just going to quickly throw a material onto this, if it lets me. My setup is that I always have a material come in as black, and I unticked assign random colors, so it will always, my assets always come in jet black, which is absolutely useless for when you're modeling. That's why you always have to put a texture on top. But it means it looks nice when you haven't got it selected, because it's got a nice black outline on its edges. Anyway, once you've got that far, kind of roughly shape the banana as if it was, as if it were looking at it from the front or from behind. So you're not looking at the curve, you're looking at it from one side. Right click, convert to editable poly. Top part of the banana obviously is going to be thin. I'm just using move and scale, are the only tools I'm using here at the moment. So W and R. When I've got to there, I can go to my modifier list and add bend. Right click and collapse. I'm just going to go full screen in perspective window. Got almost the finished banana. And then I'm going to, this face here, I've kind of harped on about that you shouldn't have more than 4 sides to any face, and this one here obviously has got a hell of a lot running all the way around it. I could probably have started the banana with less edges running around it. So if I do want to get rid of any, then I can double click to select, hold down Control, double click. Maybe I'll select every other to make it a much lower polyed version. I want the middle line though, probably. Actually, no, I don't care about the middle line. Go with that. And I'm holding down Control when I hit backspace. If you don't do that, it will, in fact, I'll show you what that happens. If you don't do it, and you just hit backspace, then when you go to vertice mode or vertex mode, you have left these verts in there, okay, which is bad, and you don't want those in there. So that means that this face here, this one, for example, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 edges to it, okay, which is bad. Let's go back. So holding down Control and removing means when we go back to verts, it's got rid of those ones in the middle, okay? Cool. Right, looking at the bottom, just going to patch this up. So I'm going to just use, oh, I've missed a line, sorry. I'm just going to patch this up. So I'm going to do Alt and C, which will bring in my cut tool. Or you can just come down on this right-hand side under Edit Geometry, and you'll find cut here. We just want to try and roughly keep things 4-sided. So that's enough, that'll do it. I kind of want a line running through the middle if I can somewhere as well, so I might cut through here as well, just so I can pull this set out. Bring that forward, close up a little bit, those ones back a little bit. Just a rough shape a rough silhouette is what you're looking for. Top. Bring those guys back a little bit. And that'll be the stem. Now at this point, if you're looking at it and you're thinking it's too boxy, let's remove that. But it's too boxy and you want to kind of add a bit more detail into it, then I'll show you a nice little tool that you can use to do that. I'm just going to patch this bit up first. So let's say here, this is a really straight edge, right? Not very banana-y. So to edit that, or edit anything that you want to add a few more details in, it's always easier to add detail than it is to take it away. Taking it away tends to take a lot longer and you'll make mistakes. Like even me just getting rid of those edges, I've left some. I've been using this software for I don't know how many years now, 12, something like that. And I'm still missing bits if I'm trying to take stuff away, but adding is a lot better. So that's why I always enforce people to model low poly as much as possible. So when you've got your asset here and you're like, okay, I want to add a few more edges along here, you can either do the trick that we did right on the very first or second lesson, where you're selecting the edges that you want and adding in them by hitting connect, right? But that doesn't change things very much. We've still got a straight line, right? So keep the curve. And to add in more edges, if you go to edit up here, this top ribbon, you have the option for Swift Loop. And what Swift Loop does is you can see where it's going to place an edge for you by this little green marker. And if you hold down Shift, it will pop to the middle of this set of edges and that set of edges there. So it will pop to the middle. So I'll hold Shift. And it also, notice how it's not actually on the banana, it's slightly to one side. What it's doing is it's showing you where it's going to put the edges. So if I click now, it creates those for me and it knows the distance between the two and it kind of guesstimates a good enough curve between them. So I can then say, well, this one's a little straight here as well, and I can pop one in there, or this one here, and make it more rounded. Okay, that's it. That's how simple it is to make a banana. It's a cylinder curved using the bend modifier. So please, really quickly, because it shouldn't take too long to get that model down.